Solana Intent Guard is a deterministic, fail-closed, T0 read-only transaction policy gate for ZeroClaw. It verifies whether a serialized Solana transaction exactly matches a policy approved by the host before any external signing or broadcasting can occur. The security problem begins when the same untrusted caller controls both the transaction and the intent used to approve it. In that model, a malicious or prompt-injected caller could construct a serialized transaction, then provide an expected intent that matches its own request. The transaction and its approval claim would appear internally consistent, even though both originated from the same untrusted source. Version 0.2 removes this self-approval boundary. The caller now supplies only one model visible value, transaction_base 64. The approved operation, source account, recipient account, transfer amount, exact transaction commitment, and maximum operator ceiling are supplied exclusively by the ZeroClaw host. The caller can request an evaluation, but it cannot define the policy used to approve its own transaction. The public tool contract enforces this separation directly. Its schema exposes only transaction_base 64, requires that field, and rejects additional caller-controlled properties. A caller-supplied expected intent is therefore rejected before it can influence the policy decision. The trusted approval policy enters through ZeroClaw's reserved host configuration. It contains the approved operation, source, recipient, Lamport amount, SHA-256 transaction commitment, and independent maximum Lamport ceiling. Caller-supplied configuration cannot replace this policy because ZeroClaw strips forged caller configuration before injecting the trusted host-owned values. Before returning an allow decision, Solana Intent Guard decodes the canonical base 64 transaction and computes SHA-256 over the exact decoded serialized bytes. It then verifies the transaction structure, operation, source, recipient, transfer amount, transaction commitment, and operator ceiling. Every required property must match exactly. These security boundaries were tested through the actual ZeroClaw plugin host, not only through internal unit tests. An exact host-approved transfer returns allow. Exact host-approved intent match. A source mismatch is denied. A recipient mismatch is denied. A Lamport mismatch is denied. A transaction commitment mismatch is denied. And an amount above the independent operator ceiling is denied. Unknown host keys, missing required policy fields, and withheld configuration permission also fail closed. The successful integration run ends with the marker, Real ZeroClaw version 0.2 current master boundary OK. Solana Intent Guard remains fully T0 read-only. It does not receive private keys, sign transactions, modify transactions, broadcast transactions, access the network, write files, or persist state. It only produces a deterministic policy decision before an external wallet, signer, or human approval boundary. The exact version was independently verified through GitHub Actions. The canonical Ubuntu push workflow completed successfully for commit 288138A, producing the packaged WASM component and verification artifacts. A separate pull request workflow also completed successfully for pull request number 1. The extracted WASM payloads from the push and pull request workflows were compared directly and found to be byte identical. Local Windows reproducibility and canonical Ubuntu reproducibility were verified independently. The two clean local Windows builds were byte identical to each other. The Ubuntu push and pull request artifacts were also byte identical to each other. Cross-host byte identity is intentionally not claimed. This version deliberately supports one narrow and auditable operation, exact SOL transfer verification. It does not support SPL token transfers, swaps, RPC lookup resolution, block hash freshness verification, autonomous replay prevention, transaction signing, or broadcasting. Those responsibilities remain with the external wallet, signer, or orchestration layer. The complete version, 0.2 implementation, host boundary evidence, reproducible test instructions, verified commit, and CI artifacts are available in the linked review-ready pull request. Solana Intent Guard prevents an untrusted caller from approving its own transaction while remaining deterministic, fail-closed, reproducible, and fully read-only.